Welcome to the City of Avondale's Ethics Policy Training. All employees are required to know and understand the ethics policy of the city. As employees for the City of Avondale, each one of us has an ethical responsibility to our citizens, our city, our co-workers, and to ourselves. Ethics are an important thing to talk about and train on because not every encounter you have will be black and white. The City of Avondale has an ethics policy in place, and it is the standard human resources uses for violations of ethical behavior. Remember, as a city employee, your behavior and actions are held to a higher standard by the citizens of our community. Just because something is legal does not necessarily mean it is ethical. For more information on the City of Avondale's ethics policy, see Chapter 22 of the Employees' Policies and Procedures Manual. The City of Avondale's definition of ethics is a system of principles governing the appropriate conduct of an individual or group. Ethics are the standards that direct your decisions and behaviors. You make the difference for the city. Simply put, ethics sets the expectations for employee behavior. The three basic aspects to ethics are the ability to tell right from wrong, to act within the guidelines of what is right, and the ability to avoid the appearance of what is wrong. This training is not about giving you a specific set of rules to follow in every situation you encounter in your job. Not every ethical situation you have can be defined in black and white terms. Instead, this training will help you measure yourself against shared standards. We know that just by providing training on ethics to you, it will not make you an ethical person who always makes the right decision. We can provide you with the city's expectations of ethical behavior to help ensure you maintain ethical behavior. Have you ever been asked to do a favor for a member of the public that caused you some concern? Has someone offered you a gift, asked for a break, or requested an exception? Have you seen a coworker take something from the city? Are you aware of an employee treating another employee or member of the public inappropriately? Have you observed situations or actions of others that may seem wrong and wondered what to do about it? So what do you do if you see or know something unethical is going on? You may not want to report what you see, but we expect every employee at the City of Avondale to report instances of unethical behavior. First, there is the difference between knowing and believing something unethical has taken place. For this training, we are only talking about the knowing. If you have personally observed something and have facts, not rumors or gossip, then you have an obligation to report the incident. If you are unsure how to respond to a particular situation, talk with your immediate supervisor. If it concerns your immediate supervisor, then talk to their supervisor. You can also talk with your department director or human resources director about ethical situations. As an employee for the City of Avondale, you can also contact the Ethics Standard Committee for advice and direction. This committee is comprised of the Human Resources Director, the City Manager, Assistant City Manager, Finance and Budget Director, and 2 at-large members. The committee will recommend a course of action for individuals needing advice and direction. The City Manager has final approval for all decisions made by the committee. Remember, each city employee is required to uphold, promote, and demand the highest ethical standard when representing the City of Avondale. All employees should maintain personal integrity, honesty, and fairness in carrying out their duties. Ethical areas. Alcohol. Employees cannot drink or come to work under the influence of alcohol during working hours. This includes breaks and meal times. Employees also cannot drink when they are off duty if they are wearing any clothing that designates them as a City of Avondale employee. Disciplinary action may be taken for employees violating this policy. Appearance. It is important for employees to project the appropriate image and appearance because of the relationship we have with the citizens of our community. Employees should be neat and clean in their appearance and always use good judgment when dressing for work. Your supervisor can send you home to change your clothes if he or she thinks you are dressed inappropriately. You will not be paid if you are sent home to change your clothes. Compensation and employee benefits. Employees are required to work the hours they are paid. Talk with your supervisor if there are issues that come up during the course of your work shift, such as having to pick up a sick child at school. Employees should submit the appropriate leave request for the time they miss. Employees are expected to perform assigned work effectively and efficiently. Deliberate misuse of time and not accounting for that time properly is an unethical acceptance of compensation from the city. Confidentiality. It is important we build trusting relationships between city employees, residents, stakeholders of Avondale, and those who do business with the City of Avondale. Employees cannot use or disclose any confidential information they gain while working for the City of Avondale for any personal or professional gain. Abuse of the confidentiality policy will not be tolerated, and disciplinary action may be taken. Conflict of interest. A conflict of interest occurs when an employee can no longer choose between the interest of the city and their own personal interest. Conflicts of interest can be direct or indirect and can happen with a vendor, a supplier, a customer, a competitor, or anyone who deals with the City of Avondale. Employees cannot engage in activities or enterprises which is in conflict with their duties as a city employee or with the duties, functions, and responsibilities of the department where they work. Employees must treat all businesses and individuals equally to avoid conflicts and even the appearance of conflicts of interest. Tell your supervisor immediately if you are involved in a situation that might cause a conflict or even the appearance of a conflict of interest. Drug use. Employees may not use any illegal drug at any time. Employees may not also use any legal drug that impairs their ability to perform their job competently. Illegal drug use on the job is cause for termination. Report any legal drug use that may impair your ability to human resources. Not doing so can lead to serious consequences. Employee records. This consists of any information submitted to the city or human resources ranging from employee applications to the end of employment with the City of Avondale. It is the employee's responsibility to submit accurate documentation to human resources. It is illegal to provide false documentation to human resources. Favoritism. Favoritism is defined as providing preferred services or granting special favors to one person or business over another. All customers, both internal and external, should be treated fairly and equitably. Financial responsibility. Employees are allowed to use city purchase cards or purchasing authority for city purposes only. Personal purchases cannot be made using city funds. Employees also cannot pressure other employees, supervisors, or subordinates to borrow money. Fraternization. Fraternization is defined as an intimate sexual relationship between employees. Relationships between supervisors or managers and employees in the same department are not permitted. Sexual liaisons between employees are forbidden while on duty and will lead to termination whether it happens on city property or not. Gifts and gratuities. Employees should always decline any gift, regardless of the value, for themselves or their family if it appears to or is intended to influence decisions they make for the City of Avondale. The giving and receiving of gifts or special treatment can create the appearance of favoritism. Employees should immediately tell their supervisor or a manager if they become involved in a situation which might cause a conflict or even the appearance of a conflict of interest. Also, when employees have lunch with a vendor or someone who does business with the city, the employee must pay for his or her own meal to avoid the appearance of a conflict. Grievances. Grievances are defined as any dispute regarding the meaning, interpretation, or alleged violation of policies and procedures. The grievance process is established to enable employees to continue to interact in a professional, ethically driven customer service approach. It is unethical to treat any employee unfairly while that employee is going through a grievance process. Unethical treatment of an employee in the grievance process is grounds for discipline. Illegal activity. Employees are expected to engage in lawful activities and must uphold the Constitution, laws and legal regulations of the United States, State of Arizona, City of Avondale, and other legally incorporated governments. Misdemeanors and felonies committed by employees will be examined on a case-by-case basis and may be cause for action by the city against the employee. Illegal actions performed on the job may lead to termination. Nepotism. Nepotism is defined as the paid employment of family members, friends, or associates in positions with the city. Although the policies and procedure manuals defines family as immediate members, an ethical definition of family should include those family members that have a reasonably close relationship with the hiring supervisor. Hiring should be an open, competitive process to ensure the best qualified candidate is hired by the city to fill vacant positions. Open meetings. State law requires that meetings of public bodies be open to the public and that public records be available for inspection. All public meetings must have an agenda produced and posted 24 hours in advance. Outside employment. Outside employment is allowed provided there is not a conflict of interest, the job does not interfere with the time and attendance an employee must devote to their city job, and the use of city equipment or proprietary information will not be involved. City obligations take precedence over outside employment requirements at all times. Employees cannot engage in outside work if they are not working at their city job due to any disability status, including workers' comp. Employees must notify their immediate supervisor of their intent to engage in outside employment. Personal conduct. Employees are expected to conduct themselves at all times in a manner that brings credit to the City of Avondale. Political involvement. Employees are encouraged to exercise the right to be active members of the community. City charter prohibits employees from participating in city council campaigns. Rumors and gossip. A rumor is defined as a circulated story, report, or statement without facts to confirm its truth. Gossip is defined as malicious conversation about people or intimate rumors about people without facts to confirm its truth. Rumors and gossip are not acceptable in the workplace. Sick leave. Sick leave is an approved period of absence granted to an employee for illness, injury, or other medical condition to the employee or the employee's immediate family. Improper reporting of sick leave is not allowed and could lead to disciplinary measures, including termination. Frequent use of sick leave may lead to the city requesting medical verification for illness. Undue influence on subordinates. Supervisors and managers are expected to engage in the highest level of professional behavior when dealing with employees they supervise. Favored treatment due to personal friendships will not be tolerated. Use of city equipment. Employees will only use city-owned equipment for city-related work. City equipment is not available for personal or private use by employees. Use of city logo. The use of the city logo or name is for city purposes only. Clothing bearing the City of Avondale name or logo shall be worn only for official city purposes or business and cannot be worn while consuming alcoholic beverages. The ethics test. There may be situations that arise that cause you to question your ethical conduct. By asking yourself a few questions, you can see whether you pass the ethics test in your particular situation. How does this situation make me feel about myself? How would my family react to know about this and my role in it? Would it pass the headline test? Will it violate a law or city policy? Will my decision be fair to all concerned? There may also be situations that arise where you observe a situation or the actions of others that you question their conduct. Ask yourself these questions before taking any action. Have I defined the problem or question accurately? What is my intent in making the decision to alert my supervisor? What result or outcome do I expect to achieve or resolve the problem? Could my decision or action unfairly injure someone or something? As a reminder, your behavior and actions are held to a higher standard by the citizens of our community. Just because something is legal does not necessarily mean it is ethical. The decision tree. We know you are faced with decisions every day. Maybe most of them are not a big deal, but when the big ones come along, they often are not expected and may be a little in the gray area. Even those little decisions can sometimes be tricky and feel more gray than black and white. Use the decision tree as a guide to help you decide whether a course of action is correct when you are unsure of what decision to make or cannot find the answer. Keep the decision tree handy to help with your decision-making process. This concludes the City of Avondale's Ethics Policy Training. For more information on the city's ethics policy, see Chapter 22 of the Employee Policies and Procedures Manual.